Welcome back to another Punch Plan video. It looks like Floyd Mayweather will actually be going through with his fight against Deji on November 13th in the Coca-Cola Arena in Dubai. So far nothing is hardcore confirmed this, but numerous reports have come out saying this fight is happening. There are a lot of signs that point towards it, with Floyd Mayweather even confirming that he will be fighting in November 13th.
Dubai, November 13th, the money man is coming back.
And the first question that obviously comes to everyone's mind when you hear of this fight is, why would he ever do this? And honestly, when you look more into it, it starts to make more sense. So Deji's finally got his first win this August against Fuzi, and this has brought his name to an all-time high as he's had a redemption story. He had 3 losses before that where he lost exhibition and amateur fights, and then his first fight where he really stepped up and fought in 10-ounce gloves with no headgear. He got a convincing and dominant win, and now with this win, Deji's the talk of the town. Everyone wants to see him fight again. When we're in talks about who are the biggest draws in YouTube boxing, Deji is definitely around the top of that list. And when looking at what Floyd Mayweather's been doing recently, as he's been doing these exhibition fights, he had that one with Logan Paul last year and then one with Don Moore, a pro boxer, this year. And I definitely think he saw the attraction that his Logan Paul fight got and how big that was. Even with it being a YouTuber, it got over 1 million pay-per-view buys compared to his fight against Don Moore, which no one was really talking about and no one really cared. So he's looking at that influencer market and he's seeing where the money is, obviously. And who are the biggest names in YouTuber boxing? Logan Paul, which he's not going to fight him in a rematch. Obviously, he didn't even get paid. Along with Jake Paul, who has a scheduled fight against Anderson Silva and said he wouldn't fight Floyd unless it was in a professional fight, which isn't happening. And then KSI, Deji's brother, which kind of seemed like an obvious option. But in this case, KSI will be fighting on Misfits Boxing, which is his new promotion, and he's looking to get one of the biggest cards for his next fight in January, which Floyd Mayweather, obviously he wants to be the A side and he wants to control all the terms, be under his own promotion. And that's why Floyd Mayweather is making Deji go to Abu Dhabi in his terms this November. So for right now, that fight doesn't even really make sense, and there's a reason that KSI said he wanted to fight Floyd Mayweather after Jake Paul, as I feel like that would definitely be a risk. And if he were, for example, to get embarrassed by Floyd, that would leave his projected fight against Jake Paul to kind of be potentially less hyped. And along with that, it does build a storyline of KSI versus Floyd Mayweather if that ever happens down the line, as obviously if Floyd Mayweather embarrassed Deji, it would make for a decent storyline similar to the Jake Paul route. So who would be next in line if not KSI, if not Logan Paul, if not Jake Paul? It's Deji. And Deji even brings that UK audience, the loyal fan base, the KSI audience kind of with him. And regardless of how good this fight is skill for skill or how it may turn out, it's definitely going to be a big spectacle. And in terms of why Deji would take this fight, I mean, it's pretty obvious. He's getting one of the biggest opportunities of his life to go in there with a legend. And even for Deji, for a long time, he's now been in his brother's shadow, and especially in terms of boxing, he hasn't had the best trajectory in his career so far. But regardless of win or lose, this is a huge opportunity for him. And even though I personally think that this could potentially be very bad news for Deji getting in the ring with Floyd, especially considering they're very close in height and size, I think Deji definitely is in real danger to really get stopped or hurt badly in this fight. But regardless, his stock is definitely going to go up, and kind of being able to break out of his brother's shadow. And even if he just hits Floyd, it's a win for him, as that clip could just be played over and over. And obviously Floyd Mayweather is the greatest defensive boxer of all time, so just to get in there with him is a huge achievement. But yeah, it looks like this is the fight that is going to be happening next. It's pretty surreal, Floyd Mayweather getting in there with Deji. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for daily YouTube boxing content.